Ed, well, he was always one of those guys that was misunderstood, you know. Well, maybe misunderstood isn't really the right word. I guess people just really didn't understand why he did the things he did sometimes.
He did a lot of things that made a lot of people angry. And seemingly for no good reason.
I guess he just liked pushing people's buttons. You would always question just what was his problem.
You know, you want to give people the benefit of the doubt. But I gotta admit, with Ed, it was tough. It was tough. It was tough not to get upset at him. Sometimes I just felt like he was asking for it, you know?
Like, he would say things under his breath, but they weren't under his breath. I mean, like, you would ask him, Ed, do you want to go see a movie? You know? And he'd be like, yeah, if I were an idiot like you. But he'd be looking right at you. I mean, it was pretty obvious.
You know, sometimes Ed would just come over and jam. We'd have a good time, you know? And then I'd play him just, you know, regular chord, A chord or something, and he would just stop and turn to me and say, that chord you played was gay. And it was just weird, you know? It wasn't like constructive criticism. I could take that, you know what I mean? I mean, we'd be jamming out and he'd stop right in the middle and just say, why do you even play guitar? Why do you even play? You're terrible. You should stop playing now. Why?
We'd invite him over for dinner, and
You'd invite him for dinner.
He'd be our guest, and he would come over from time to time, but he would complain about everything. And one time, I got a little upset, and I said, well then, if you don't like my cooking, then maybe you could just cook next time. And he said, well, cooking's for dumb broads like you.
It's a true story.
There's just something funny about Ed. Just watching him, you know? Like, I mean, if the focus wasn't on you, then you could just kind of sit back and watch the show and see who he's going to mess with next, which one of your friends he's going to inflict his misery on next.
Like the water.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, he'd carry this glass around with him. Yeah.
He'd have a glass of water with him. I mean, for a period of like a year. Always had a glass of water.
When he'd come in with that glass, you knew somebody was going to get splashed in the face.
I got splashed 9 times out of 10.
Honey, he spread it around. We all got splashed at least once or twice.
If you were lucky, it was water, but with me it wasn't water. It was hot milk. Scalding hot milk. It was hot, sticky, and it didn't make any sense. He poured on me, and it was. Why would you even do that? You know, it's just. I know he didn't have it there to drink.
The first time I met him, he whispered in my ear, I bet I can you better than your daddy does. I slapped him right there. I mean, you don't say that. God. But that was Ed. I mean, and once he knew he got under your skin, he'd do it again.
He'd have moments where he'd be nice for like an hour, you know, where he wouldn't say anything or throw anything. I mean, he was just winding up because then he'd like come out at you and go, ah, like that. And then we'd all jump, you know, assuming he had some sort of makeshift weapon or something, right? And then he'd just laugh because he got you and call you stupid.
He'd call you pussy.
I know what he called me.
Oh, it was like we always knew Ed had something up his sleeve, you know?
Yeah.
So we'd keep that 10-foot parameter around him.
Yeah, we call it the Ed Circle.
Right.
Stay out of the Ed Circle.
Dude. Nice.
Yeah, if you just sat back and kind of gave him his space, stayed out of his way, you could kind of sit back and watch the show, and you knew something was going to happen every day with this guy.
It was like people getting hit in the nuts.
Oh, yeah, I know. Tell me about it. But some people actually did get hit in the nuts.
He used to kick me in the nuts. A lot.
Yeah. I got hit in the nuts more than once.
He kicked me in the crotch once, like I had nuts. I mean, it was like it didn't even register to him that I was a girl. It still hurt.
We'd have to ice John's nuts for weeks at a time.
What can you say about Ed? We called him Dick Ed. I have absolutely no idea why people put up with his shit. And he's dead now. And he got out of this life without being murdered.
Maybe God knew Ed.
He'd have these moments where he'd be really sweet. But it never lasted. For some reason or another, we all always put up with Ed. Maybe it was because we felt sorry for him. But I don't know. Maybe it was because we were just waiting to be surprised. I don't know.
You want to believe that a person has some redeeming qualities. You know, that the shoe will eventually drop.
You wanted to believe that. I knew Ed was an asshole.
Yeah, such an asshole.
Major asshole.
He was
Just a big asshole.
He was a big asshole. Yeah.
Asshole. But he's dead now. And it makes you sad. But you don't know why.
And I must bide. But come ye back when summer.
That's funny.
That's terrible.
Ed. We called him Dick Ed.
We'd have to ice John's nuts for weeks at a time.
I'm sorry. Dude, I'm sorry. Keep going. Just do it again.
Oh.
Try to think when he just died. Like he just died.